Morning. Thought I'd come for a walk. It's a beautiful day. Fresh, but it's a nice day. Makes change because it's not stopped raining continuously for the last few days. So this is the first break in weather, so I thought I'd come and take the dogs for a walk because they're going stir crazy. They just sit there looking at me. Just come on, manslave, take them for a walk. Yeah. So I thought I'd come out and it's really boggy though. I mean, like I don't know how much rainfall we've had, but a lot. And now everywhere is super slutchy, which means the dog's going to be absolutely filthy, even just going on a little walk. But I needed to get out. The dog's, like I say, driving me up the wall. So I thought I'd come out for a nice walk while it's nice. When I made my last video, was it Saturday, Sunday, something like that? So it's been a few days. Do you know what? Pretty much steady state running, really. Pretty much are the same. Went to Andy's Man Club last night, which was alright. What else? Yeah, it's a weird time. I think a lot of it's to do with Christmas, like I said, and I think a lot of it is to do with, everybody says, like I said before, like the 6 month point, and it just so happens, lucky me, that the 6 month point coincides almost to the day with Christmas, so it'd be Boxing Day when it's 6 months. And I think there's a bit of a psychological thing for me particularly. Earlier in our marriage, like obviously with me being in the forces, I used to go away for 6 month periods, and they were pretty much 6 months to the day. Did some slightly longer, some slightly shorter, but generally they'd be 6 months. So we kind of, between me and Jen, we kind of got used to, we never liked it, but we got used to, not seeing each other for 6 months. And so your brain kind of trains yourself to, alright, 6 months is alright, but any more than that and it's shit. And I think that's kind of kicking in a little bit, that this is going to be more than 6 months. I don't know. I mean, it's weird. When we were younger, I used to go away, and we, like I said, we never liked it, but as we got older, I did it less and less, and that was good because we knew that we didn't like being away from each other. So we stopped being away from each other. Luckily I got to that kind of seniority in my job where I didn't need to go away anymore. They don't employ me to actually do the work anymore. There's much younger and fitter people to do that. I do all the all the management stuff. So it meant that I didn't need to go away as much. Last time I went away, I think it was 2020 into 21, something like that. And I remember coming back from that, and we were both just, I remember coming back and just saying, right, that's the last time I'm going to ever be away from you. And I knew it, I was like, thank God, that's done. And we both sat there and went, brilliant, that's it, that's the last time. We'll be together now till we grow old and shuffle off this mortal coil. Amazing, isn't it? It just doesn't even enter into your thought process that won't be the case. So yeah, the 6 month thing's pretty significant for me particularly. And then I don't know, well, the 6 months, it'd be interesting to understand how other people found it at this kind of point, because for me it feels, for some reason, that whether it is partly because it's Christmas and there's a lot more memories around Christmas, but it feels so close. It feels like the loss, I'm feeling the loss a lot closer than I have in the past few months. and also for some reason it feels really recent more than it has previously. It feels like it. I got past that. After the first couple of months where I felt, I felt like it was yesterday, and I kind of went to, kind of started processing time a little bit better. But I seem to have relapsed and gone back to, it feels like it was only yesterday that she was sat next to me on the sofa. It feels only yesterday that we'd get in the car and go to the coffee shop, and what have you. It just feels really close in that respect as well, like it was only yesterday. And that's a regression, that, because that wasn't, I kind of got over that. And then, so yeah, it feels close in that way. One sec, back in 1 sec. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my dog's digestive systems, respectively. I think that's like the 7th crap they've had this morning that I've had to pick up. Normally I have one when we come out and that's it, but no, they seem to have, I don't know, you don't want to worry about my dog's digestive system crapping habits. Anyway, what was I saying? It just feels like it was yesterday. So there's that, and again, I've regressed again in some respects, because now I'm back to, I cannot believe. I keep having these periods of disbelief. Disbelief. It used to be disbelief that, she's not there. That when I walk in the house that she's not there. It's now, it's kind of a disbelief. I don't know if it's disbelief or realisation that this is now my life. Like, how can this really be my life? It's... that's hard to get my head around at the moment. How is this now my new normal? Me as a single parent with 3 grieving children. Like, how is that a thing? How, and then immediately followed by that is abject terror. How do I live this life without Jenny? I mean, don't get me wrong, I was normally the more level-headed, logical one, but who organised, had all the organisation in place and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't matter. I mean, how do I live this life without Jenny? Jenny was my, strength, really. When you don't know the answer. When you don't know the answer, I didn't have, the clue. Come on. She was the person I turned to. Kids get ill. Jen, what do I do? Do you know what I mean? It's and that's kind of where the disbelief, or I don't know, but it's a little bit daunting. I don't know, that just seems to be, it's come back with a massive vengeance. Like, I've got that digital pitch frame that I've got up in the room, but in the front room, and like, come on. But now every picture seems to have more weight to it. I don't know. Perhaps it is Christmas. Perhaps it's a combination of Christmas and the 6 months. I'm just trying to kind of figure it out in my head and failing miserably. Anyway. Well, there you are. That's kind of where I'm up to. What have I got on? Tomorrow I'm gonna go and meet Elaine, take her for lunch. Yeah, go and meet Elaine, take her for lunch. That'd be nice. And then don't know really for the rest of the week. Off to London on Saturday, like I told you, so that's good. Looking forward to that. I just hope that the weather holds out. I did look at the forecast, and it showed for London. It showed pissing it down with rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sunny Saturday, pissing it down with rain Sunday, Monday. So, but you know how these things change. So that might well change quite quickly. I hope it doesn't. I hope it stays nice and sunny on Saturday, because it will make the day so much better. But either way, we'll be all right. Anyway, I think today I'm going to. Jeez, it's so boggy. Today I'm gonna go for finish this walk off, and then I'm gonna go and grab some lunch from somewhere. Treat myself, go and sit in a cafe. Hey, come on, you. Go on. Come. We just crept up on it then while I'm chatting away. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. Right. Well, I'll speak to you next time we have a nice day. Probably won't speak to you tomorrow, actually, because like I say, I'm going to go and have lunch with Elaine. But if we can get out after that, I will do. Right, take care. Speak to you soon.